Hi everyone, my name is Renee Long with the American College of Healthcare Sciences, and joining me today is Stephanie Niazi, one of our wonderful graduates, and she is visiting here at the ACHS Portland campus all the way from Dubai. So she's going to sit down today with us and talk a little bit about life after graduation and what she's been doing with her ACHS education. So thanks for joining us. So our first question for you, Stephanie, is what is the story behind your interest in CAM? What got you involved?
Okay, well, I think my interest has been more of an evolution into the area of CAM. I had a lot of exposure as a youngster with grandparents on both parents' side who actually were, you know, generationally they were involved with herbal medicine. Just generationally. It just like, but that wasn't their thing. It was just everybody did that in the very old days. So I had an occasion to have an earache once, and my mother, who was not a herbalist herself, basically was giving me all of the things that normally you would give your kids. And my grandmother came up with something out of her garden, warmed it up in a bit of oil, put it in my ear, and the pain was gone.
Wow.
So I think my respect for CAM and for those types of things was cemented at that point.
Wow.
And I think over the years, just having books and reading about nutrition and reading about herbs, but I actually never stepped into the game until many years later. But I think it's been an evolution, and that's kind of my story. At which point I could step in, I did.
Right. I do believe I've heard that from a lot of our students and graduates and people in the holistic health community, that they just realized, you know, it was either ingrained in them from family, and then they realized that it actually worked. And there's always just such a wonderful story behind people's interest in holistic health and complementary alternative medicine. So it's lovely to hear that. It's so nice to hear the generational
that's really
insights.
Important.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm from California originally, and that was sort of mid-70s and 80s where I had a chance to be exposed to a lot of the, natural health concepts. So I think, again, books and just evolving it to the point where you want to do something about it.
Yeah. And do you want to tell everybody what programs you graduated from?
Yes, I originally graduated with my diploma as a holistic health practitioner. So I was very excited about that. It's a complete program in itself with holistic nutrition, and iridology was my focus. Again, one of those things that had captured my imagination for many, many years. So those were part of my first experience and exposure in the class. But I found that the addition of the associate's degree and incorporating herbal medicine, which I was always sort of a little afraid that I wouldn't be able to do that, but incorporating that into my regime, it was very empowering. The program was very empowering.
Wonderful.
More empowering than I expected it to be. So
that's so good to hear.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
So what drew you to ACHS for your education?
Well, I had just sold a company, a distribution company. I had moved to Dubai and started at the behest of my husband. I started a distribution company of natural products.
Oh, okay.
But I was training wellness centers in processes, and as I was also a reflexologist by that time. But I found that I really missed that direct link with people, and that my original ideas about helping people one-on-one, I wasn't accessing that. It was something a little more commercial. So I went online. I sold my company. I went online, and because nothing was available in the Middle East, and I just was sure I wanted something that was fully accredited.
Right.
So I was so excited to find out about ACHS, and not only that, but all of the programs were right up my alley.
Definitely.
So it was just my personal ambition to have that knowledge. And living in the Middle East, I wasn't sure how much I could apply.
Right.
I wasn't sure what my obstacles were going to be, but I decided that I wanted to own that information.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what drew me to ACHS. Also, they had the connections with the nutritional program and the associations. Everything was fully grounded in the memberships that were available.
Yeah.
So I felt it was the best option. It took me 4 months to find it.
Sure. Yeah, and that's, I mean, everyone when they're thinking about going to school or going back to school needs to be doing their research and see what programs work, you know, well for them. But it sounds like it was just a perfect puzzle piece for you.
It was.
It
was fantastic.
Puzzle pieces lined up. So
it was fantastic.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the work that you're doing in Dubai right now with your education?
Yes, what I'm doing right now is I am setting up a corporate wellness company. I have been working the past few years as an independent consultant.
Okay.
In health and nutrition.
That's wonderful.
So now I'm actually moving that into the corporate arena.
Okay.
And it's very exciting. So ACHS also helped me to learn how to do presentations. You know, I've also done different talks on various subjects.
There's a business aspect.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I've gained confidence through booking conferences and talks and educational platforms for people in the communities. So I do that, and so I'm very excited about the corporate aspect and being able to manage. I'm working with a U.S. company as well, whose program mirrors the ACHS sort of holistic nutrition program. So it's a way for me to sort of fast track with larger groups of people the information that I've learned. So I'm very excited about that.
That is very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. So what advice do you have for students and graduates who are trying to figure out what to do with their education in terms of a career, how to get started?
Well, I feel, and again, ACHS is very helpful, especially when you get to the end of your programs, in how to set up and how to plan and how to visualize what you want to do. I found that that finding your niche, it first off depends on where you are regionally, where you are and how much you're going to be allowed to do. But I really recommend that everybody, if you can move on beyond the certificate programs as well and get to like the associate program, which teaches you also how to write, how to research. There's a lot of confidence that we get, and it basically sort of sprouts a lot of options. So you can write, you can present and do education. You can do you can have online businesses. There's so many ways, depending on where you are and what your level of academics is before you come into the program. But I feel that it takes a little bit of time, but you will come up with your place and your niche and how to do it. Like for me, it did take me a little bit of time to see how I could, how I could bring it in. And in a corporate wellness situation, you're working a lot with the HR departments. So it's wonderful. I mean, you basically have that knowledge. It gives you a way to exercise that. If your city or state that you're living in doesn't allow you to go into a certain way, there are ways to do it and maintain your knowledge, because the other thing is you want to maintain that knowledge and put it into practical application.
And keep looking for continuing education options and seeing what else you can learn, because the field's always changing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and continuing education is really important. So definitely, I agree with that. And you add on to that. Because, when I finished my program, I realized, and I mentioned the associate's program, one of the things that I became very inspired by, and it revolutionized what I was doing, was through that program, we were encouraged to find a topic that we wanted to learn to research and write about. So I learned to research and write about the autoimmune system and its reaction with different foods. So there's a lot of talk these days about gut integrity and creating and understanding that relationship. So I wouldn't have found that had it not been for the associate's program. Or for somebody else, it would be their master's program. So I found that very inspiring.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's so cool. So what has been the biggest challenge you faced in the holistic health world?
I think that if there was a challenge for me, it was trying to do a one-size-fits-all. I think that there isn't a one-size-fits-all. And I think that one has to, like you said, build from where you want to be and gain the extra knowledge that you want to gain to put yourself into the position. It's a lifelong learning process anyway. But I feel that for me being in the Middle East, it was a little bit difficult because they also have rules that change all the time. So you just have to make sure that the rules, where the rules are headed and what you can do within that framework.
Right.
And then, because you can grow and develop with any of this, you just have to be a little bit outside of the box to see how to do it.
And be adaptable.
And be adaptable.
Right.
And I think I am adaptable.
Yeah,
I think that was, at the end of the day, that was what won, was being adaptable and not getting stuck.
Right. And so that kind of leads me into my next question. What is your greatest accomplishment and what's getting you excited about holistic health these days?
Well, I think that my greatest accomplishment has been working with people, seeing the results with people and the referrals that I get with families.
Yeah.
And I think that creativity is very important.
Absolutely.
You know, creativity has to be a part of that. And visualizing what you want. And I think that being able to have that creativity and have your success, and I think success breeds more inspiration. So I think that taking those little successes, know what you want with your business plan eventually as well.
Yeah.
So, and try a few different things and don't get frustrated, never give up.
Right.
Never give up.
That's great advice.
Yeah, never give up.
Yeah. I think you brought up a really good point about focusing on the successes. I think it's very easy to get bogged down in, oh, this didn't work, or this, avenue doesn't feel as fruitful. But if you're focusing on the things that you do well and the successes you're seeing, I think you can build on that and it can be very inspiring. So I think that's excellent advice.
And I believe that you need to challenge yourself.
Sure.
I think that, yes, we get the education, but we need to be a little prolific with it. And I believe we are taught how to do presentations. I believe that you can do a presentation anywhere. And I think people should, if they don't feel they can do that they want to do everything that you can do within the foundation that you've been taught.
Right.
And get out there, get out of your comfort zone and speak.
Yeah.
And people will love it. So the more you're speaking, the more you're showing, the more you're presenting. That's how you become a leader.
Yeah.
That's
and sharing your gifts.
And sharing what you know.
That's wonderful. Thank you. That's great advice. So what are your plans for the future? Where do you see yourself going?
That's a fair question. Because I'm in the middle of growing a company right now.
Yeah.
I'm just comfortable. I have to say I'm comfortable where I am.
That's
and
wonderful.
adding this
It's a great place to
adding
be.
this new factor is going to be it's challenging, but it's a challenge I'm ready to take on.
Yeah.
I may in years to come. I mean, I'm a little international in that my husband's family is living in another sort of far off country, and I may take my work there as well. So I may be going through,
Right, some changes in that.
through changes in that, and basically having a company here and a company there. But I'm portable.
Right. That's a great way to be. I mean,
I'm
now
portable.
In this mobile world, that's the
Yeah.
best way to be. So it's wonderful, yeah.
And I think portability is really good. We live in a new era.
Yeah.
And I think that especially paying for office spaces and paying for this and paying for that. So,
Right.
so it needs to work within the economics
Yeah.
of things as well.
Absolutely. Well, we're very excited for you, and we're so excited to see you continue to grow in your career, and that's
Thank you.
it's quite wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, so last question that I love to ask all our students and graduates. If you were stuck on a deserted island and you could only grow one thing for medicine or food, what would you choose?
Well, because I have my diploma in herbal medicine, I'm not going to get fancy though. The one thing that continued to come up in the training is how important our little friend the dandelion is. Because dandelion, you know, it not only purifies our blood and helps support all of our you know, sort of internal organs, it's highly nutritious.
Yeah.
So I feel that it's one of the group of highly nutritious plants, and easy. It grows like a weed.
Yeah.
It is a weed, right?
Right.
But you know,
don't have to
it
do
doesn't
much.
grow in Dubai.
Huh.
It's too hot.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating. See, I feel like dandelions grow everywhere.
I know. It gets really hot there.
Yeah, I
So,
can imagine.
but that's what I would have.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Dandelion.
a very good choice. I'm always fascinated to hear each herb or plant that our students and graduates choose, because it's just such wonderful insight into what people would choose to bring on the island with them. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So thank you so much for being here with us, Stephanie.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure catching up with you. I hope you enjoy your time here in Portland and visiting the school and the city.
Thank you so much. I do. I'm excited to meet the staff and see the
Yeah,
faces that for all
absolutely.
those years I spoke on the phone. You
Right.
guys, yeah.
It's
And I
wonderful.
want to say one last thing, and that is that, you know, I felt very blessed that I had the staff
Right.
that were so helpful, and I can be a little difficult at times, you know, not mean or anything, but no matter how, there was no question too irrelevant. Everybody took my questions, and that also gave me a lot of confidence to move forward. So
Yeah.
the staff are so well trained, and
That's
you know,
great to hear.
I just feel that everything is there,
Yeah.
and it just is up to us to then
Right.
move
It's that-
forward with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always here to support our students and our graduates, and yeah, no question is too small or too, absolutely. So
Yes.
thank you so much,
You're
Stephanie.
welcome.
And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.